Hello, witches. I am High Priestess Orthophilus. Thank you for taking time out of your busy afternoon to join me here live on Instagram, or if you are watching it on YouTube, Facebook, and I might post a link on my at Twitter account. So thank you for joining me for this live broadcast. So let's get right into it. That one spell will change everything. That spell that changes your entire life will not come from a book. It will not come from a witch, a high priest, a high priestess giving you that spell, ritual, hex, or curse. That one spell that will change everything about your life in a positive way will come from the spell that you wrote. It's good to have books about witchcraft as a reference, but as real witches, we are not to take books about witchcraft literally as the only truth. As a witch, you will have your gods, goddesses, ancestors, spirit animals, familiars, your own intuition direct you while you are writing your spell that will change everything positively in your life. I know that witches who write books want to help witches and also make money. But don't forget, don't neglect, because I see it a lot, to tell witches that one spell that will change their entire life will come if they write it themselves. Every spell in a book does not relate to everything you want to get out of that spell. Every book about love spells, money spells, abundance spells, prosperity spells does not suit everything you want to get out of that spell. If you really want to see your spells work, you have got to write them yourself. You have got to write your own spells. How do I write my own spells? Write down exactly what you want to get out of that spell. And no, your spells do not have to rhyme. I love poetry, but I cannot write poetry. Your spells do not have to rhyme to work. My spells don't rhyme because I'm not a poet. I love poetry, but I can't write it. That's another thing I really have to point out. Your spells do not have to rhyme. Now, you can have a dictionary or a rhyming dictionary by your side if you prefer your spells to rhyme, but your spells do not have to rhyme. Don't fake the funk. If you know you can't rhyme, don't force it. Because if you force yourself to make your spells rhyme, it's not real. It's not genuine. It's fake. And your spell is not going to work the way that you want because it's fake. That one spell will change everything if you write your spells yourself. When you write your spells yourself, get into the details. What kind of a car you want? How much money do you want? When do you want to have that money? Please give your spells a date. If you write your own spells, give your spells a date in which you expect it to materialize, when you expect it to manifest. If you say, I want $10 million by May 1st, write that in the spell such as this. By May 1st, I have $10 million, because that will also motivate you to do what I'm famous for saying, real world action, to get that $10 million. It's absolutely possible. I've seen it with celebrities that I've worked with. I've seen it with friends and family. It motivates you. It motivates you to do real world action when you give your spells a date that is expected to work, expected to materialize, expected to manifest. It motivates you to do real world action because that's how all spells work. All spells work when you do real world action. It's not enough to do a spell and hope for the best. Witches don't need hope. We just do it. We just make it happen. You need to do real world action. So give your spells a date. I have $10 million by May 1st. And then you do any sudden bursts of inspiration given to you by your God or goddess or ancestors or familiars or spirit animals and act on it. When you do a spell, very often you get inspiration, you get ideas to do real world action to make that spell work. Get into the details of your spell. Don't write something generic as I have $10 million. When? When do you have it? Give your spells a date. It's generic to say I have $10 million. When do you have it? Do you have it tomorrow? Oh yes, it is possible to have it tomorrow. If you do real world action tonight, if you don't sleep, it's possible. You know, I always say to witches, impossible is not a word in witches' vocabulary. Impossible is not a word in the vocabulary of witches. It doesn't exist. It doesn't exist. That's a joke. It's a joke. Impossible does not exist in the vocabulary of witches. It doesn't. It doesn't. All witches know is possible. All witches will ever know is that anything is possible with witchcraft. Anything. Anything. Get into the details of your spells. Spells that work 100% of the time is the spells that you write yourself. It's okay to draw inspiration from witch books, but take those witch books with a grain of salt. Don't take them as absolute truth. Absolute truth in witch books does not trump your own intuition. It does not trump the information that you get from your chosen god or goddess or ancestor or familiar or spirit animal. It does not trump that. It does not trump that. Books are good. Every witch should read something about the type of spell they want to do. Absolutely. But don't take it as the law. Don't take it as that's it. That's all. That's all I have to do. No. It does not trump what your chosen god or goddess or intuition or spirit animal or familiar told you to do. Write your own spell. I'm not trying to put no witch that writes books about witchcraft out of business. I'm telling you the truth from my own experience, from the experience of other witches, from the experience from other high priests and high priestesses that actually teach about this. This is why a lot of witches do not live magically filled lives, because they believe that every spell they come upon in a book must be right, must be true. And it's not. It's not. Write your own spells. When you write your own spells, you decide how you want that spell to work out. You decide when it's going to manifest. You decide the tools you are going to use, especially the tools that you can actually afford, because some tools, some items that you need that are found in witch books can be very expensive. Who has a diamond laying around? Who has emeralds, rubies hanging around? Not too many people, right? Right. When you write your own spells, you are also putting in your own energy. You are putting in your own energy, working alongside that same energy to bring about real, significant, and permanently positive change, which is the only definition of witchcraft. Witchcraft is working with the energy found in nature to bring about real, significant, and permanently positive change. I have seen real, significant, and permanently positive change when the witch writes his or her own spells. Just by taking inspiration from their books, but not taking those books about witchcraft, about the spells they are attempting to cast, as literal. Don't take it as literal. There's nothing better than listening to your chosen god or goddess when they tell you the type of spell to do. That one spell to change everything about your life. That one spell that will change the generations in your bloodline to come forever and ever, so that nobody in your bloodline may go through life the hard way. Because like I have said always, no witch should be struggling. No witch should be poor, destitute, broke, living in the ghetto, being beneath, being trampled on, being walked on, pissed off. No, that's not the life for a witch. A life for a witch is real, significant, and permanently positive change. That's it. That's all, period. That one spell that will change your life is the spell that you write yourself. Of course, you should read as much as you can about the spell that you are attempting to do from selective books about that same spell, like love, money, prosperity, fame, fortune, of course. But don't take it literally. Do not take it literally. Listen to your chosen god or goddess. They will direct your steps. They will direct your steps. Because if you knew better, you wouldn't need Hikata. You wouldn't need your ancestors. Because you would just know it all. And you don't. I don't. But when you write your own spells, that one spell changes everything. And you see quickly, not slowly, you see quickly all your problems going away, your enemies being dealt with, debt vanishing, hearts break, your heart healing from heartbreak, your children coming back home, your children coming back to their senses. You see a partner where you both will live happily ever after. You will have that fairy tale wedding. And more importantly, a partner that agrees with your lifestyle as a witch. You would never marry somebody who has a problem with you being a witch. I would never marry anybody that has a problem with me being a witch. Are you serious? Yeah, I no. Automatically incompatible. You can't be with somebody in a romantic relationship if they have a problem with you being a witch. It's not going to work. It will never work. Okay? It will never work. That's a word that somebody here needs to hear, either live right now or by watching this uploaded onto my Facebook, YouTube, or X account, X known as Twitter. Okay? That one spell will change everything. What is that spell? The spell that you write yourself. And no, I can't stress this enough. Your spells do not have to rhyme. Please get that through your head. Your spells do not have to rhyme. I can't write poetry, but I love poetry. But I can't write it. So my spells never rhyme. My spells make sense because I get into the details. But if you're fancy, you can't have a rhyming dictionary by your side. You can't have what's called a thesaurus. What's it called? A thesaurus? You know, a word that's hold on, give me 1 minute. A thesaurus. A thesaurus is when you find a word that's said a different way, but it means the same thing. Okay, a rhyming dictionary. A dictionary or a rhyming dictionary, okay? But I know what a thesaurus is. I just have a hard time explaining it. I know what a thesaurus is. Does it sound like a dinosaur? Thesaurus. It's a special type of book that you can find words that mean the same as other words but spelled differently. That's the best way that I can describe a thesaurus. It sounds like a dinosaur, but that's how it's pronounced. Thesaurus. Okay? So yes, that one spell that will change everything is the spell that you write yourself, and more importantly, giving that spell a date in which it is expected to manifest. It is expected to work. A lot of high priestesses and high priestesses don't even teach about this. It's disgusting. How do you not teach about this? That the one spell that will work automatically is the spell that the witch wrote him herself. When it gets into the detail, into the specifics of that spell. So that's pretty much it for this live broadcast. I just had this urge in my spirit to talk about this, about that one spell that will change everything, which is the spell that you write when you give your spell a date, when you get into the details of that spell. Once again, my name is High Priestess Autumn Phoenix. This is live on Instagram. I will upload this onto my YouTube and Facebook account, and also post a link on my X account, so be sure to check it out there if you can't watch it here, or if you're having a problem here, or if you want to cast it on your television so you can see a bigger screen. So thank you, witches, once again for taking time out of your afternoon to watch this broadcast. I now release you into the rest of your afternoon. Bye, everyone.